Uncharted 2 Among Thieves is coming to PlayStation 3 this fall. The game promises to build on the rollicking adventure and tactical gunplay in the first game with a new setting and an all-new online multiplayer mode. Bruce Straley is here from Naughty Dog to get us up to speed on Drake's newest adventure. Greg, what's the story on Uncharted 2?
Dave, the biggest news is that Elena is in the game. Bruce here has been hiding her the entire time, the love interest of Uncharted. Finally at E3, we got to see her. She called herself last year's model. Crazy stuff's happening. But Bruce, I think you'd probably be better to bring us up on the real story of what's happening in Uncharted 2.
Right, well, so Uncharted 2, Drake's back. Drake's in his usual self, which is, part adrenaline junkie, part historical detective. We've surrounded him with a new cast of characters. So he's got Elena Fisher back, he's got Chloe Frazier, he's got a new antagonist who's bigger and badder this time, and Zoran Lazarevich. So kind of how the characters intertwine with each other in this story, this game, is that Chloe Frazier is more from the
seedier side.
Yeah, the seedier side, the treasure seeker, modern day treasure seeker, so has to deal with things as more a survivalist, self-preservationalist, kind of like looking out for number one. But she's also got like a bit of a firecracker, got some zest in her, and so she excites Drake. They've had an on-again, off-again relationship over the years. While you're in this city is you can see it's beautiful for one, and what we're trying to say is like you climb to the top of this hotel to seek out the one temple amongst the hundreds of temples poking out inside of this urban environment. 700 years ago, this was a valley full of temples. Marco Polo came through this area at that time and found the temple that holds the secret to where the hidden entrance to Shambhala is, or in Westerners' terms, Shangri-La, up in the Himalayas. So you and Chloe are here looking for that same temple, like needle in a haystack style. So you can see the story is embedded into the environment here, because you see the temples cropping out of the urban overgrowth, but as well you see, you're finding the temple you're going after, and then you see the snow-capped mountains off in the distance. We're saying that you're gonna go there in the future. So true Naughty Dog fashion, you've made an effort to get to the highest location in the city, and now we want to give you this reward of this beautiful 360 panoramic vista.
One of the things you guys have talked to me about when we talk about the game is how you're trying to incorporate, setting into it to make sure that that when there's a mood in the game, it's reflected in the gameplay.
Yeah.
I thought it was really interesting when you gave me this demo earlier, you're talking about the sunlight right now, because it's Nathan Drake, hightailing it around, being his normal jovial self. But in the distance, you see storm clouds, right? And they're coming in to be a part of this.
Yeah. So obviously, we established in Drake's Fortune that we're a very character-driven story here. Character-driven video game. It's a playable action-adventure summer blockbuster. So, like a good movie does, we want to parallel the character's story arc with different colors and palettes. As well as game players, we want to reward the player with, you got to this vista shot. We want to reward you with something beautiful, as look, I made it this far. So Drake's character is going to go through ups and downs and highs and lows, and you can see that embedded in the background as well. So you get to this vista point where you're at a high. Later on in the level, or in this world, you're going to get to that temple. Things are going to go slightly awry, at which point you're going to be embedded inside of that thunderstorm, lightning flashing, rain coming down, etc. It's really going to parallel Drake's mood, because now he and the characters he's surrounded by are in jeopardy.
Now, one of the things we're seeing in the vistas here are these, smokestacks in the background. These fires burning out of control, torn up walls. They're going through a civil war here, right? So Drake's kind of dropped in the situation he has no control over.
Right. So the story.
By the way, too, that was awesome.
Thanks.
I don't know if anyone's talking about how awesome it is when
you can see right now, like traversal gunplay in effect. Right. Drake's using vertical cover. Helicopters coming out. Destructible environments. Plants are reacting to the helicopter. We're just trying to give you an epic experience here, all in game. But to answer your question, what was your question?
I don't even remember. Now I'm lost in the game, because this is something
it's pretty enthralling, isn't it?
Yeah. Well, I pointed this out in my preview, and I think this is a great chance for people who read and watch IGN to see. You guys have made a big jump forward. I mean, Uncharted looks so good. Now you're doing a lot of stuff with depth of field, right?
Yeah.
So make it even more realistic.
Yeah. So I mean, the amount of things that we've added in Uncharted 2 is ridiculous, as far as the traversal, the gunplay, the combat, layering them on top of each other, the action stealth component. Big epic scenes like you're seeing right now. But also, exactly what you were talking about. Jesus, my brain is fried. E3 is doing a number on me right now.
This is the last segment that we're doing on the show, and it has been 3 days of insanity, so I don't think anybody can blame you.
Thanks, everybody.